The first time you mentioned this, you said, hey, I'm happy to go into the details of my life, and you were referring to this lifetime, if for some reason it is beneficial to the other. I can just give you the cliff notes and we can move on. To me, that's somebody that has both surrendered and integrated those parts of their life. They find no identity in the story of those things that is useful. Unless it's helpful to the other for some reason, there is no reason to talk about it. I relate to this. I am pretty shit at talking about myself because it's not a priority for me. So the only time I ever really talk about self, as in my experience, is if I think the story is somehow going to be beneficial to someone else. But I don't find much in that. So although I think past life regression can be helpful for people, I find that there's the seeker community there too, that it's like, oh, I was a horse maiden in this life in this time, or I was the king of this castle, or whatever their stories are. And I'm like, great, how is that relevant to today? And I'm not saying it wouldn't. I have a dear friend who that is her work. She does past life regression and Akashic record stuff. And it's a very useful skill unless you get caught up in that story, and for some reason the story becomes more important to you than the lessons. And I do think there are things that happen to us. To me, it's one life expressed in multiple instances, which we would call lives or reincarnations or incarnations. And I think there is work that doesn't always get resolved in a particular life that sometimes needs to come back to either get purged or cleaned up in another lifetime. So I can see the use in that. Or like sometimes I've even seen people who have pain in their body that they've always had that is from something that happened in a past life, and you go back in there, you heal it, you correct it, and you're done with it. But I think you're 100% spot on that it's also the tricky thing with that is with clients, it's easy for them to get stuck there and regenerate an old identity or a story of an old experience and hang on to the story and not integrate the experience and learn from it.